Hey everybody, welcome back. Gigi Starlight Sparkle shining on. This is month 3 on Estradiol, and I have a little surprise treat right over here. Yeah, stay tuned after the intro to find out what it is. See you guys. Hey everyone, welcome back. You're in for a treat. This is month 3. Oh, actually, this is a huge treat because, yeah, I'm gonna get a little more intimate in this video. So, because the special treat is I am changing from estradiol pill form to estradiol, what is this called? Estradiol Valerate, which is the liquid form, intramuscular. So it's going to be a shot, which is actually really going to be difficult for me. And I have not done my measurement. So I'm going to give you a little more insight into how I have my amazing figure. Um, yeah. So yeah, welcome to Gigi Starlight Sparkle and a more intimate view, of course. And again, using the Estradiol Valerate. This is the 50 milligrams per 5 milliliters, or broken down, 10 milligrams per milliliter. And there is a little mathematics to that, but ultimately for every 1 milliliter you get, or 1 milliliter you get every 1 milliliter you get 0.1 milligrams, but it's more concentrated, so you don't need as much, whereas the pill, since it's being ingested and absorbed through the skin, you need more of it, and it's being digested, so it takes more to reach the same levels of estrogen in your blood. Where this way, it's going into the muscles, directly into the bloodstream, into your muscles, so it absorbs more potently, so you don't need as much. But again, go through your doctor and physician to find out what amount you need. This is actually going to be extremely hard for me because I can't harm myself. So we'll see if I can actually get this to work. Generally, I'll have a roommate do it for me. But since I want to do this for you guys, you get to see my process. I do prefer the hips because, again, more muscle tissue to reach into. You want to have your syringe with a larger needle to get it into from the vial into the syringe. So you want a larger gauge. And then going into the skin, you want to use a smaller gauge. It is recommended a 20 gauge. I have the 18 gauge, which is the extreme smallest gauge you can get for the estradiol's viscosity to get through the needle. The needle needs to be 1.5 inches long for getting it in. And I'm going to do something that you probably shouldn't really do, is taking it off, but I'm not taking off. I'm just going to have, because there's no window to see where you're at with the glass and the liquid. It's all really covered up by the sticker, which is quite irritating because you don't want air in the syringe, and so in the bottle isn't full completely, so it's harder. You want to put it into the bottle, but then you want it to be at the point where it's in the liquid when you're pulling it out. So it's kind of really dumb that they put it all the way surrounding, not leaving any window to see where you're at with the syringe and the vial and the liquid. So I am going to break off a portion, but keeping the expiration date in here. And I will not be explaining what dosage I am using, because you should, again, have that consulted with the physician and knowing where your blood levels, estrogen levels, and your testosterone levels are. So far I'm on 3 on estradiol and on estrogens, and my herbal testosterone blockers. I have not started the short-term Spiro or Presto, the other one, the P. I can never say that one. Persindent. But yeah, I haven't started those ones yet. I just wanted to see how the estrogen's taking in. And other fun fact, since now it's going to on 90 days here on estradiol, every single cell in my body has been converted to having more estrogen. So now my skin is thinner and softer, and things that I have noticed that, yeah, it is a lot easier to get scratches and bruises. So I have been noticing, especially, I don't know what I keep bumping my legs into, but there's so many cuts and nicks and bruises on my legs now. I'm like, oh my gosh, what am I doing? I gotta be more careful where I walk and how I've been walking. Please leave a note in the comment on your experience with the softer, thinner skin, because females have thinner skin than males. So it is more easily scratched and bruised. And the muscle, so you're supposed to be weaker, a little bit more. So you're losing muscle mass. I have a smartwatch which helps track my muscle mass, and I also have a smart scale which uses electro currents go through your feet and to see where your body content, your body mass, and your muscle mass, and your fat mass is at. And for myself, okay, so let me get the one word first also. But for myself, my muscle mass hasn't changed yet. My fat has gone up not even a full %. My body fat hasn't really gone up much, and my muscle mass has not diminished much either. Again, I will dig through my app here and get the exact numbers. So yeah, that's been something that's quite interesting, that for myself, that hasn't changed much. Alrighty. And so, where's my notes? Where are my notes here? So yes, I found that quite interesting. Excuse me. Also coming over a cough. These winter seasons got me with a slight cough, so it's hard to talk. And it sucks because I haven't been able to do my singing. I love singing, but oh well, that's fine. But yes, let me get my measuring tape as well, because we're going to do the measurements to see where that has gone on also. and show you how I do the measurements, and then we'll do the thing is the needle pricking, which is going to be so hard, which also goes deeper into how I lost the kids, because the ex reported me and filed what's called a, what was that thing called? There's a 2K hold. So it's for a mental health thing where you call in trying to say that somebody's trying to commit suicide, and they put you on a 2,000 is it 2,000 hour hold, or is it 2,000 minutes? I think it's actually 2,000 minute hold, right? What's 2,000 minutes breaks into? All this little funny thing, but something of that nature. So ultimately, it boils down to like 5 days, a 5-day hold, where they can legally hold you and check your well-being for 5 days. But she called, and I got evaluated by a psychiatrist, and they let me out that same night. So I wasn't even held for very long. But since nonetheless, it was reported, that I was harmful to myself. Doesn't matter, what the facts were. Even, since the doctor released me and said that I was fine, he didn't deem me as suicidal or a harm to myself. It still puts that on a record. And so when the judges, look at things for, are the kids in a safe space, that was against me. And so it's hard to fight, even though, the doctor or the psychologist let me off. She did it again 2 weeks later, called again saying I was suicidal and that I was trying to harm myself. And again, this goes into this issue because I can't harm myself, so this is going to be very difficult trying to. That's going to be so hard because I can't purposefully harm myself. Jeez. So my health app, my levels are, so currently body composition from November, I was at 9% body fat, muscle mass, so it's 138 pounds, and my muscle mass, where is it? Come on. I got the fat mass. Skeletal muscle, 63 pounds. So, yeah, skeletal muscles, fat mass, 22 pounds was my fat mass, and this is back in November. So now, when I come back to more recently, so the last time I did all the scales checking was March 21st. So, body, come on, go, switch, oh, there we go. So, the body fat mass from 22.3 pounds to 22.4 pounds, and my skeletal muscle still 63 pounds. So, my muscle mass hasn't really changed too much, and my weight, so the fat, I guess, was the one thing that did go up a little bit, or my water weight probably is what was contributing the most, because the skeletal is still 63.3, but my total weight went up from 138 to 139, so now I'm at 139 pounds, and now I can see, okay, Windows made, I can see now, and then back on track to the other one. But so yeah, so since I had that against me, it's a cause for me to lose the kids, because I'm not supporting a safe space, a safe home, because I'm suicidal. But again, I can't harm myself. I'm not suicidal. Like, I was emotionally distressed because my spouse kept cheating on me and lying behind my back and saying that they're not cheating on me, and going around sleeping with people behind my back, and not really taking care of the kids. Coming home, they still haven't had anything to eat, so I had to hurry up and rush and make dinner for the kids. And having her kicked out and sleeping alone, not having anyone to be with, uh, after being with somebody for 15 years, it's really mentally challenging and hard, right? Come on. It's a lot of mental distress to go through in a short period of time, and then starting to file the divorce, and so many things to just go through. So keeping on track and trying to keep this video short. So month 3, Estradiol, how do I keep the form? It is breast forms. I use a silicone breast form for keeping the look and appearance to help out with my gender dysphoria. I don't want to do this now. I did it yesterday. I figured this out. Keeping everything PG. La 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 la. I can do this. Haha. It just looks funny, right? So yeah. So, da, da, da. So this is how I do it. Well, that ain't gonna work. So silly. La, 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 la. Because now I have female nipples, and apparently they cannot be shown on TV anymore. So stupid, this nipple thing. It's really got to end, because they are not a sexual part. They're just a part of the human body. So now you're gonna see nipples because I use this. These are a B cup, so 300 milligrams. And so yeah, I use these, put them in a sports bra, just to keep them a nice little form. And then the bra has an actual little push-up on it. But yeah, that's how I keep my form and figure. But see, you can see here, there's shape to it. But to keep YouTube, it's going to be a little bit off on the measurements because I have the top squeezing in a bit. But this is how I use of course, the body tape, body measuring tape. No, stop twisting. Don't twist. Go. There we go. And of course, I put it in the center, put 1 or 0 in the sternum, going across the nipple line. Deep breath in. And exhale. Getting the measurement. And we are at... stay across the nipple line. So we are now at... I gained half an inch. It's at 36 3/4. So that was a half an inch across the nipple line. So from 36 1/4 in 2 months. So now it's at 36 1/4 at 3 months. And then the deep breath in and relax. Underneath is now 34.5. So 34.5. Let me write those down for my notes to keep track of things. So under the nipple line, we are on March 28th. Under nipple, 34.5 inches. And of course, across the nipple line, we're at, what did I say, 36 3/4 inches. So yeah, so that's a half an inch growth. And now my estrogen is increased. keeping things sterile. So alcohol wipes. Alcohol wipes. Sanitizer. Okay. So hands are already washed before, so sanitizer is just being sure the germs are dead. So I can put on medical gloves. Put on the gloves. I might be putting these on a little bit too early, but let's see here. Ha 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 ha. Gloves, check, check. And when you do it, so doing the intramuscular, you can do once a week, or what I found also would be helpful, and what most people do is twice a week. So the twice a week helps keep the nausea down, because the extra estrogen can do a lot of nausea. So you'll get your dose that you're supposed to do, and you do half of that one portion of the week, and the other half on the other end of the week. Where'd it go? Cool. So this is the needle that's going to go into the body, and then we get the needle that's already on this one that goes into the vial, which I now have my window so I could see how much liquid, or see that the needle is in the liquid. So when I extract my recommended dosage, or half of it rather, mental block, I can get through this. And then when you do it though, you switch sides so you don't hit anything off. And also you want to be sure that you're in the muscle tissue, not the fat tissue, because the Estradiol Valerate dissolves fat. So if you're in any of the fat, you'll start gaining a dimple in this portion or the area that you're poking the most if you're not in the actual muscle. So you'll be losing fat, which is not good. But you do not have to sterilize this with any of the alcohol wipe. The alcohol wipes are for cleaning the area that you're going to be poking. Alrighty. Yeah, that's not very sanitary. When I do things for myself, I tend to be a little less sanitary, which is kind of bad, isn't it? Ah, jeez. Alrighty. So again, I use the hip area. Hip, 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 hip. Hip, 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 hip. So use the fatty portion, upper buttock hip thigh, right there, away from the bones. You know, the bones all around there, so you don't want to be too low, because you could hit your pelvic bone or a nerve where the joint is at, which is very bad. And then you also want to watch, don't want to be too high, because there's also the bone in the upper area and also nerves up there as well. So again, lower, middle, where all the muscle and the fat is at. And you want to wipe off a 2-inch area. So cleaning off 2 to 3 inch radius. 2 to 3 inch radius. And it's so funny because, like, I don't mind needles. I don't mind getting shots. I just can't hurt myself. And again, you're doing this for about 30 seconds to be sure you kill all germs. 30 seconds to a minute. And also, the more you rub, the more numb it can get. Again, though, for me, it doesn't make a difference. Like, I don't mind pain. Get back in there. Alrighty. And then, no air. Into the vial, upside down. Let all the air out. And again, your dosage amount. I can't see. I need to be able to see. check for the needle. No, you gotta use my window. Gotta see the thingy. So I go past the amount I want, and then let it back out to where I need it to be. And then you gotta remember, some is inside the needle. So you want to pull this back a little bit so it comes out of the needle. Again, you do not want air. Cap comes back on. Unscrew this one. It is a locked seal, so nothing's going through there, so no air bubbles going through. That's locked and sealed. This goes into a waste disposal. So proper waste, not in the trash. Never, ever, ever dispose in the trash. Ever, 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 ever. Never, ever, ever, ever. And there's a proper way to open these. Really hard to do with gloves. Yes, I'm very musical. It opens back up. And the best part. And of course you push it back out to be sure all the air is out. No air. And you wait till you get some of the liquid coming out here. Be sure there's no air in the vial. And you wait for it to come out the top, but you don't want it to necessarily drip out. So you do want to be sure that there are no bubbles. Bubbles. Alright, because bubbles are bad. Alright. And nice easiest way is, so somebody does it nice and slow, but you also don't want blood getting into there. So slow is going to allow for more time for blood to get through. And now I'm just being typical Gigi and stalling because I can't harm myself. So here's where I just do a cut and just go poke and make you guys think I did it. And then have my roommate do it for me. But no. This is for, so you tighten it up and you get it ready and deep breaths in and you just go nice and fast. Uh-oh. I definitely have to bleep that out because I can't have that on there. Jeez. This is definitely the funniest part, right? Because Gigi can't harm myself, and I really can't harm myself. There's definitely going to be a lot of cutting and editing out in this one. I love you guys for this. All for you. No bone. Oh, son of a bitch. It's that simple, minus the hesitation. It honestly doesn't hurt. I just can't harm myself. But yes. And then of course, again, that goes into, put that away, get rid of that. And both goes to, all three actually, I'm sorry, I apologize, all three items go into a waste container that goes to the doctor so they can dispose of them properly and safely. These are just alcohol wipes and could just safely go into a trash. Adios, muchachos. And welcome to month 3 with Gigi, Starlight Sparkle. Doing lots of editing, so you guys saw none of that. I thank you for joining me on my journey. So again, month 3, transferring to Estradiol Valerate. I am doing the bi-weekly, so I'm going to do this one on Sundays, and then my second day will be on Thursday. So I'll do Thursdays and Sunday. Love you guys. This will be Starlight Sparkle, sparking out, doing the impossible, because you gotta see how this works and affects, right, and how to do things. And not everything is sunshine and rainbows. There are difficulties in life that you gotta push through, because the obstacle is the way. So, love you guys. Bye! Thanks for joining me. See you guys next time. Cue the outro.